on location outside of Jefferson in York County. Cayden Valley Farms is chopping this morning, custom operation. We'll have a couple questions trying to see what customers are looking for, as a custom operator, what you're looking for. So as far as feed quality, what is a customer looking for dairy cows, beef cows? Is that the same? Is that different?
Yeah, well, basically, the customer kind of wants, back in the day, you know, if a kernel was like cracked a little bit, everyone was happy. Nowadays, everybody wants like ground chicken feed, you know, basically, but coming right from the field, which is hard to do. With this new shear processor, we're able to run a lot bigger gap. You know, a lot of times when we got a really closed down processor, you know, uses more fuel, takes more time, all that. With this new processor, we're running like a 2 millimeter gap. We don't lose capacity, and we're doing a way better quality job for the customer.
Awesome, awesome. So how does this machine compare to what you've seen or used in the past?
Well, the machine's a lot more capacity. You know, the first thing I noticed was fuel consumption. It's like, man, this thing's really drinking fuel, but then it's like, oh, well, my tonnage is up. So, you know, my fuel per ton is the same, maybe a little better, but, you know, we're doing more per hour. So it's the first thing that comes to mind, we're using more fuel, but we're really not. Our fuel per ton is actually better or the same as our older machine.
Okay. As far as when you look at silage, how does that visually look compared to what it had in the past?
Well, that's something we always struggled with from the 7,000s, you know, the whole way up. You know, this year has been really dry. We got a lot of dry knobs, wet bottoms. And one thing that, like, the feed quality's there. The chop quality, you know, you don't see like long husks. Everything's cut to a consistent length, better than I've ever done in my life.
Okay. As far as comparisons and some ratings, how well do you think this silage would rate as far as like if it went up to Penn State or anything like that?
Well, we'll find that out, but 10 years ago, you know, you wanted to be, if you broke 80 in the kernel score, you were high on life. Our last ones were in the mid-90s with our old processor. We didn't get any of this feed sent in yet, but we will. But I'm thinking we're gonna have the best scores ever. And you know, before we were at the top of the list, but I think we're doing even better now.
That's awesome. That machine, have you noticed any, as far as ergonomics, and I guess the cab's pretty much the same as what it was before, nothing really changed?
Everything's very similar. The two things that changed was the processor and the engine. The engine's awesome.
No def.
No def.
No def. Yep.
Plus.
Yep.
You know, the engine, you know, high RPM's 1800. It has a lot smaller working window, but the torque, it just, you know what I mean? Like, the torque's a lot better than like the old 13.5 engine and stuff. It just, I don't know, it's very torquey. You can lug her down to the ground and just, it'll stay there and just go, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Cool.
So basically, like what we got here, we got really dry feed. It's probably 60%, 58. You know, hard kernels, like super hard kernels. You know, you can see some of these here. You know, they're definitely chewed up really fine. I mean, you can see like you know, a lot of them fine pieces there. It's like you know, I call it chicken feed because it's ground up real fine. You know, it's easy to pick the bigger chunks out, but you look at all this fine stuff, I mean, that's all kernels. Got some tar spot there and everything.
There's some tar spot.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, with our old processors, you know, we would struggle all day long, you know, I mean, we couldn't get there, but, you know, we're talking probably, the kernel moisture is probably 25 to 28%, and silage is 58, 60 range. So it's really dry, and that's hard processing, and that's what we're really doing here. you know, we can just do a pretty phenomenal job pretty much without even trying anymore.
And still get with capacity.
And yeah, we lose 0 capacity because of it. So, I mean, it's definitely been a huge improvement for us over previous machines.